you have to open the schematics. So in order to see the circuit, I just place a circuit here in the side. It will keep going here, but you have to know what the components required. We require the 555 timer IC, 2 resistors, 2 capacitors, the ground earth, VCC you can go with VDC, and one more resistor across the load. Okay, so go to draw, get new part, get the components. So the 555 timer, so I'll place this timer, then resistor. So 3 resistors we require it. Then next capacitor. So 2 capacitors we require it. Then earth. So ground earth. So we require it for the negative terminal of the power supply and the ground, and even this resistor has to be connected across the ground. So I place all the necessary things, and like VDC we require it, so we'll just take that also. Yeah, it's been done now. Now we need to do the circuit connections. I'll just close this. So circuit connections, see, if you want to just rotate this, you have to press Ctrl R, rotate the component. Flip also you can do it. So as I've already told, never connect any 2 components end to end. Always have a wire in between. So this VDC. So the other end should go to ground. Otherwise I could move this little right side. One more thing what we can do here is, once we chosen all the necessary components, we can just click on this, zoom in. It's here. So it will just maximize the things what we have chosen. So open our circuit. What we need to do, VCC should go to pin number 4 and 8. So positive terminal of the battery should go to pin number 8 and pin number 4, that will connect. So positive terminal of the battery should go to, better will connect to the resistor, then I will connect to pin number 8 and pin number 4. So after this, one end of this resistor should connect to VCC. So it's been done now. The other end of the resistor should connect to this resistor. Okay, I've just done this connection. So next, even I need to have a connection between this resistor and capacitor. Now in between these 2 resistors should go to pin number 7. In between this resistor should go to pin number 7. Okay, then in between this resistor and capacitor should go to pin number 2 and pin number 6. So between this resistor and capacitor should go to pin number 2 and pin number 6. So you should have this connecting point, means it's been connected there. Now one capacitor has to be connected to pin number 5. This capacitor should be connected to pin number 5. So it looks like it's been connected with so many things, so I'll just put it here. Let me put my capacitor here. So this has been done, this capacitor. So now one should go to ground, other end of the capacitor should go to ground. This capacitor other end also should go to ground. So I'll connect this ground little down. So I'll connect all these. So you have done this connection as well. So connect the load resistance across this. So this also we have to do it. Let us finish this. Connect this output 3 to a resistor. The other end of the resistor you connect a ground. So now the complete circuit connection is done now. So what we need to do, we need to put the values for all these. So VCC, here it is 5 volts. Here it is 5 volts. So this capacitor is of 0.01 microfarad. So this capacitor is of 0.01 micro. Micro will be writing with U. So this capacitor is of 0.1 microfarad. 0.1 microfarad. By default it was in nano. So these are like 1 kilo by default. So as per the design, it is of so we are doing it for above 50%. Okay, this is for 50% design. If it is above 50%, it's being designed here with 7.2 kilo ohms. Okay, this is for 50% only. What are the different values which we have computed? Can anybody tell me? The values which we have computed the other day in the theory class. What is your R1, R2 values? Because it is not there in the manual. Nobody knows? So it is 3.6 this RB. So 3.6 RA, that is R1. R1 is 7.2. This is for duty cycle 75%, 1 kilowatts frequency. I don't know what we have done in the theory class. So you can just work with different frequencies and different duty cycles as well. Okay, now the circuit connection is done. What we need to verify in this? So the voltage across the capacitor, so just move on these values. Let it not overlap on the device. Okay, so voltage across the capacitor we need to measure, and output voltage. So just label this. This I'll label it as V out. And this will label it as VC. So now what is the setting we'll do it? We'll go to the setup analysis, enable the transient, click on the transient. You have to give what is the final time. Now the frequency what we designed it for 1 kilohertz. So I want to display 5 pulses suppose, then 5 milliseconds. If you want to display more pulses, give that. And I want to give it skip initial transient. So let it not start with a 0 for the capacitor. Then you have to give it the skip initial transient solution. Otherwise, let it be there with a 0. So I'll not enable this. I'll just click on OK. Close this. So now simulate it. No, I'm not saved yet. It's giving an error to save. So we'll just save this. I'll just give it off 555 timer for duty cycle 75%. So I'll just save it as 75 only. now the file has been saved and it's been simulated as well. So now since I've not given skip initial transient solution, it just randomly started with some value and it's been giving like the negative thing. Otherwise we can just give it this skip initial transient solution, so we'll not be having any errors in the waveforms. So even now it's been given. I think make a note that always you give the skip initial transient solutions, otherwise randomly it starts with some value, that will be an error. So now because the capacitor charge, there is no control on the capacitor for us. So what is the charge? So when we give that skip initial, so it started with 0 here. If you don't give randomly, it's taking some charge for the capacitor. Now you don't consider the first one because it is 30% extra than the what we requiring, because the trigger and threshold it's not following. It starts from 0 volts across the capacitor, but here you can measure this upper limit is the threshold, this lower limit is the trigger. And what is your V out, what is your on time, off time, because we need to measure the duty cycle, frequency, and 1/3 of VCC, 2/3 of VCC, all those things. Click on the toggle cursor, place the toggle cursor, because I need to move this toggle cursor below because it's not moving here. So just click on this, choose this red one, then you click on the toggle cursor, choose this red. Sorry, after choosing that, I don't know, yes, so just choose this. Now enable this, I think it's disabled, fine. And now still now it's not moving. Yeah, now we can mark for this 2/3 of VCC, this red one. So it is 2/3 of VCC. How much here it is? Just mark this. So here it is. We are concentrating on the volts. So here it is 3.32. 2/3 of VCC. How much you'll be getting? VCC, if we are assuming it like we'll be considering theoretically as 5 volts. So you'll be having 3.33, correct? Answer, no? 2/3 of 5 volts. Yes. So 2/3 of 5 volts you are getting 3.33. But here we are getting a different volts. With that we are getting 3.32. 329, almost like 3.33. So it matches with the theoretical value. We just mark with this 1/3, that is the trigger. So here it is 1.68. So theoretically you'll be getting 1.66. So you're getting 1.68. So this VCC, so if you want to measure that, you have to click on this V out, only then. So you can able to mark this volts. So how much you're getting this VCC? It is 3.84. Theoretically what we computed that it should be 5 volts, but we are not getting exactly 5 volts, we are getting 3.84 in the simulation. In the hardware also you'll be getting almost like 4 volts or something like that only. So now we measure what is VCC, we are getting what is 2/3 of VCC, what is 1/3 of VCC, the threshold and trigger value. But what is we need to measure it? The frequency, duty cycle. In order to measure the frequency, so frequency you can consider one complete pulse. So this negative and positive both together. So I'll just start from here. Okay. So here it is 2.438. You mark this 2.438. This complete positive and this negative. So till here. Yes. So here it is 3.44. 3.44 minus 2.438, almost equal to 1. So you're getting 1 milliseconds time. So 1 divided by 1 milliseconds, you will be getting frequency 1 kilohertz. So we have designed it for 1 kilohertz frequency approximately you're getting, because 1.001 or something like that you're getting here, because 38 here, if you truncate it to 2 decimal points, it will exactly match with 1. So the frequency is working perfectly all right. What we need to concentrate now is a duty cycle. So we get the T, it is 1 millisecond. What is T on? In order to measure T on, already I know this value, it is 2.438. So from here till here I'll be measuring only the positive cycle. So here it is 3.188. So just subtract 3.188 minus 2.438. How much will be getting? 0.75. So 0.75 milliseconds divided by 1 millisecond. So you'll be getting 0.75, because anything divided by 1 is 0.75, the same thing, right? So we are getting 0.75 into 100. So we get the duty cycle 75%. So in this circuit, we get the computed values as per the theoretical whatever we done. We get the exact values. Any doubts in this in order to do this computation? It cannot work like that. So in order to convert this circuit into for the 50% duty cycle or below 50%, we need to have a diode in parallel with this R2. So go to draw, get new part. There are so many diodes. So what diode we are going to use here is, we have to use the silicon diode D1N4002. You choose this. So you place this diode. So nothing else, just close that and rotate this component. So connect the wire. So now in the theory we also computed there will be small resistance offered in the diode. So that is 1.4 kilo ohms. So if you want to make your charging time is through this R1 and diode, so we split this 7.2 what we computed between these two. So but that was just an assumption of 1.4 kilo ohms. There is no guarantee that it offers 1.4 kilo ohms. We'll just simulate for this 7.2 with the diode. We'll see what will be the result, and then we just make this 7.2 split across these two, then we'll check out what will be the result. Okay, so this, if both of this are this charging path and the discharging path resistance equal, then it can work for 50% duty cycle. So we'll simulate this. So the circuit what I started was for above 50%, like 75%. I just made the changes there only. So if you just look in here, you can see the charging time is more than the discharge, because it's not just 7.2, it is higher than that due to the resistance offered in the diode. So here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only. So we'll just split across these two. So the theoretical assumption based on the characteristics of the diode, it was 1.4 kilo, right? 7.2 minus 1.4, we get 5.8. We'll just make this 5.8. So 5.8 kilo for R1. This diode is 1.4. This R2 is 7.42. So 5.8 plus 1.4 is equal to 7.2. Now these two together 7.2. This alone 7.2. So we'll just simulate now. See now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. almost both are equal. So you can just measure this, use the toggle cursor. So this charging, discharging, this threshold, trigger, VCC, on time, total time, all these things you need to measure again. So to measure now, I'll just consider one complete cycle here. So I'll start here. So this is, I'll mark this. So it is 2.29, and here it is 3.315 minus 2.299, right? So with this I get the time is 1.01 millisecond. So inverse that, like 1 divided by 1.01, so we'll be getting 9.99 kilohertz. So that is the frequency we get. So it's working fine. So on time is, we'll just measure this. So it is 2.8. So 2.816 minus 2.299. So you get on time is 0.51 or 0.517, you get on time. Off time it is 3.31. So 3.31 minus 2.81. So how much will be getting? 0.5. So this on time and off time, what we get is 0.517, 0.5. So both are approximately equal. So it is working for the 50% duty cycle. Any doubts in this? So what is the change in the circuit for the 50% duty cycle? And you also, yes, you have to add a diode with parallel with R2. So now you have to measure this threshold and trigger as well. So just click on this. No, VC is correct, fine. VC anyhow it's been chosen. So go for this. Mark this threshold. Here it is 3.32. So you have to get 3.33. We are getting 3.32. So the trigger we are getting 1.68. We are supposed to get 1.66. It's working perfectly all right. So this is how you need to do it for the 50% duty cycle. Now you have to do it for greater than 50%. Sorry, lesser than 50%. So what the circuit? The same circuit. What the changes now here is the resistor value. So when it is equal, this resistance and this resistance should be equal. Now I need lesser now. So based on what duty cycle you're going to design, this resistor value will vary. Suppose if I'm working with some 40% duty cycle, so for the 40% duty cycle, this has been computed as 4.4. So along with this resistance, okay, yeah, so here it is 4.4 kilo ohms, and R2, sorry, yeah, R2 it's been computed 8.6. Here it is 8.6 kilo ohms. So it is 4.4 plus 1.4 it is. So here it is 8.6. This is the charging path. This is the discharging path. This is for the 40% duty cycle. So we'll just simulate this. We'll see what is the value we're going to get it. So now when we just look into the circuit, we feel that, waveform, it might work, but we are not sure until we calculate what exactly the result. So we'll just focus on the duty cycle instead of going with this threshold, trigger and all. You know how to measure. You have to measure this threshold, trigger, VCC, and then total time period, on time. So once we measure this total time and on time, then we can able to find out what is the duty cycle and frequency. So we'll measure on time now. So here it is 2.913. So here it is 2.58. Okay, how much you'll be getting? 2.58 minus 2.193. okay, 2.58 minus 2.193, you'll be getting 0.38. So here it is 0.38. The total time is till here. You have to compute till here. So total time 3.18 minus this 2.19. So we'll be getting 0.99. So total time is 0.99. So revert 1 divided by 0.99 will give the frequency. So almost it's working like for 1 kilohertz frequency. But the duty cycle total time is 0.99 divided by the on time. On time is 0.38. So divided by 0.38 will get the on time divided by total time, right? So 0.38 divided by 0.99, so we'll get the duty cycle. So if you just do this 0.38 divided by 0.99, you were getting 38%, but what we designed it for 40%. So approximately it's working, because I have not considered all these decimal values. If you consider all this, the result may be little more accurate there. So you'll be getting like 38 or 39%, but it is acceptable. The reason here is we're not sure that what exactly the resistance of the diode. So based on the characteristics, it's been just assumed. If you know what exactly the resistance, then we can able to get more accurate result. Any doubts in this? With this, I'll end up the video. Thank you.